Hey guys, let's jump right into it. So, today we're going to talk about flawless foundation application. I would like to start with every flawless foundation application start with a great skincare routine. You would definitely have to wash your face, exfoliate as often as your skin type could take it, and that depends on whether you have dry skin, oily skin, normal skin, combination skin, or acne type skin. So I have already washed my face, I toned my face, and now I'm about to moisturize. I have normal to oily skin, so this is what I use. It gives my skin a great balance and help my foundation last throughout the day. When rubbing products in your face, you want to rub in circular motions going upward so you wouldn't drag down your skin to go against elasticity and help with the longevity and elasticity in your face. And now that I have moisturized my skin, I will go ahead and apply my foundation. So when it comes to applying foundation, there's many different steps you could take. You could conceal first and cover up dark spots that your foundation is not covering by using the color contrast to the spot you're covering. For instance, if I had a red spot on my face, I would use green to cancel out the redness. Vice versa, if it was a green spot, I would use red for my dark circles under my eyes. I would use an orange or a peachy color, salmon color, or pink to cancel out the blue. When you see blue under the skin, it's actually when you see dark spots under the skin, like on the skin, it's actually blues on the surface, which project in darker circles. So you will use a peachy color, a salmon-like color, pink, or orange. And you would take those, the color corrected, and you would blend it in. Do not leave it sitting on your skin because you will get that tone back in your foundation, which you wouldn't like. Okay, let's get into laying this foundation. I like to start with the inner part of my face. It allowed me to get a flawless finish without a heavy line at the jawline. And plus, the inner part of your face is usually more problematic. So you get to lay the foundation heavy on the inside and light on the outside. It always worked for me. You could either apply your foundation with a brush or a sponge. A sponge is best for mature skin, acne skin, or if you have a breakout, it's easier to apply a flawless finish. It will manipulate to the best of the ability. And when you have mature skin, it's so easy to make your skin look cakey with a brush. So the the I'm sorry, the sponge beauty blender, however, will allow it to be more flawless. It would cover without looking so cakey. So we just patting away. Don't be scared to blend. The patting motions is like you dribbling, like bouncing. So really pat and tapping. I could have used a bigger brush. I don't know why I didn't, but I love this brush actually. Alright, now as you can see, the foundation is a flat color, so it looks very one tone-ish. Um, it's not complete. And this foundation is a bit darker than my skin complexion, and that's okay. I always could go back in with concealer and add some coolness in it, then warm up on the side. So now that we're going to go in with our concealer, and we're going to highlight the inner point parts of our face. You do not need a bunch of any product. Little go a long way. Personally, I will start with a little so I can know how to blend a lot, but it's your preference. I'm not against anything. I do both. It depends on where I'm going, how the scene is looking is what I'm going to put on, the time of the day. It did tell me what I'm going to do. So sometimes I use a little, sometimes I use a lot. So I'm going to take this and go under my eye. So this is me highlighting the high points of my face. I like to let it sit and get tacky so I can get a fuller coverage. And then I'm going to go back in and blend it out. And if this is too light for you, if you have a concealer that's too light and you don't have nothing else to use, you can also go back into with the same brush you applied your foundation with and blend it out. And your foundation mixed with this will tone it out. It will give you a lighter shade of your foundation. And I decided to let this sit a little longer, and just so I could give you guys a complete idea of contouring. Not everybody does it to the extent. You can also use just powders. You can use liquids. You can use cream. You can use whatever you want, depending on the settling that you're going to be in. All right, here is the contour as the highlight sit, so I can get my fullest coverage. I'm going to go in. I'm going to contour. So I like to start with dots. You can use as much as you want, but I don't need a lot. So a quick disclaimer, what's a lot to me may not be a lot to you, and what's a lot to you may not be a lot to me, and vice versa with a little. So it's on preference, whatever you think, whatever works for you. And what this is doing is just adding some depth back in your face after washing it out with the foundation and making it all one tone. You're just adding depth back into your face. I like to exaggerate some, so I go above my natural cheekbones structure. And I like to chisel, the size of my face, my side profile. I'm looking forward. Nothing too crazy. And just like with highlighting, contouring, you could go 2 shades or lighter, darker if you want. I like to go 2 shades darker to chisel a little bit, give some height. As I let this dry down, we could get into blending out the. Wet my sponge. I'm using Latasia V Cosmetics Bell Blender, and I'm just gonna blend this out. I personally feel like when I use my wet sponge, I get my most airbrushed effect. You can tell the difference. And then I have points on my cheek. Remember, blend up. Can you kind of tell the difference? And again, just like with the brush, pat, pat. How you know if you're not patting is if it's not bouncing. You want to dribble it on your face as if it was a ball. Don't hurt yourself. But I just want you to know the difference in between the strokes. All right. Look at her. Coming to life. Let's pat her out. You see how it gave it some warmth and structure? That's what contouring do. So it take your basic flat face and bronze it, like add some warmth, tone it, add structure. And now I like to redip my sponge. I like to let the nose sit a little longer. For me, preferably. I like to let the nose sit a little longer, get tacky, because what I'm going to do is bring it up some by my brows. Blend it up by my brows to bring it down the side of my nose. So with my nose contour, I like to go back in with the brush that I use for foundation to like tone it and just pat that in. Pat. Remember pat, like you dribbling the brush. So let me zoom in for you. Literally pat. Do not disturb where it's placed. Just push it in. Pat. Also with makeup, yeah, you have to fill out your face. Everything is not just flat surface. It's, dips and angles in it. So hold your brush according to the angle you're patting on. It works for me because I'm able to get it right where I want it and not disturb it. I understand. You see how soft it look? It's there. We know it's there. Okay. As our structure is starting to come to our face, um, this should be tacky. It have been sitting for a while. We're gonna blend this out. The highlights. I like to pinch my sponge and dot pots. Hmm. Let me zoom you guys in. Like airbrush finish. Pat. This is the same blending sponge I use for my contour. I just flipped it over and used the opposite side. Look at the eye lift. See this compared to this? Look how little I use. And remember, blend up. So, as you can see, highlighting and contouring just add definition back into your face after using foundation. Foundation, bring it to one even tone and make it a blank canvas. And the concealers, well, contouring, highlighted, add definition. And you have it. This is not where we finish at. So when you're using liquids and creams, you want to set it with powder so it can have a longer longevity through lasting out the day. With just this, it would shift, it would move, the powder would lock it down. You don't have to use a lot of powders. You should use a pressing powder that's your skin tone to add balance, and you can use this. So now that we have blended out the concealer, we're going to go in and lock this down with some powders. I like to use a finishing powder that's the color of my skin and blend it in. Then I go in with a setting powder and set my highlights, my contour, and lock it in so it can last long and not shift. I decided to mute this clip and just talk to you guys. So what I'm explaining right here is I just go and smooth out the application of makeup, make sure I'm not setting any crease from friction of moving. So I'm going to pat that out, and then I'm going to go in and add the setting powder and redefine my face. I just want to add a disclaimer. The way you add your application to makeup, your face, I'm sorry, tongue tied. The way you apply your application of makeup to your face is preferably on skin type. If you have a lack of elasticity in your face, which is mature skin, and acne skin, or maybe you have an outbreak, whatever, it's easy to not get a cakey look with a sponge, so it won't point it out more. It will make it more flawless. It would apply a airbrush application. Makeup is not permanent. It only could, help cover up a little. So we just got to do what work best for what we have. And when it comes to contour and highlight, it depends on your face shape and what you are trying to achieve, what you are looking for. So everyone have a different structure, like even when it comes to eyes, things you would do. Some people have downturned eyes, some people have upturned eyes. It really depends on what you have, what you working with is what you would do. This is actually my second layer of powder. I'm going to go back in, let it sit a little, but I'm going to dust this right off. Let me know how you like to add your powder or your concealers or foundation. I'm interested. This is my brush of choice. I tap all assets, products of, and I just go in there and set my whole face. It's just like me toning it. All right. The next step for me will be to add back in that contour, snatch it up some more. So I'm going to go in with a darker eyeshadow I have and warm up my face. All right, now that we have warmed up the face, we have highlighted, we have laid down foundation, we have locked in our highlight and contour with powder. Last but not least, we will spray our setting spray. Set eye spray. If you want to highlight it, add highlighter. If you want to bronze, whatever you want is your preference. So this is a disclaimer. I was actually doing a look to go out later. I did not add my eyeshadow and stuff on right now. That's why I left my under eye a little wet, because I'm going to smoke out the bottom eye and do a little smoky cute nude eye at the top, and that will be my look. But thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate you. Let me know what you think.
Through my shawty, wallet. Waiting me down, nothing I can't do. My baby, my baby. My